I still expect the camera to goof some, but
Well, with a non-faulty K2.
alright, so if you're in here with us right now,
We apologize for disbelieving.
well, we know we got to get our tech situated, right? So if you're in here with us right now, please make the lights on that box go off, flash, and we can actually start this conversation. I'll tell you what, if you can make the lights on that one flash, it will go a very far way in making me convinced that you actually might be here. Like it would go a very far away. Or you can make this box next to us turn red, or you can make the ball next to us light up. And Sarah, if you're somewhere in this hotel, we invite you in here to hang out. Sally, we still need towels. We might be interested in joining the Rough Riders.
And for Sarah, we have lots of interesting things to come mess with.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you like knocking glasses off of people? We're both wearing glasses.
we have two perfectly healthy shins that you can kick.
Or two between the two of us.
No, my shins aren't healthy. They're all bruised and banged up.
Well, thank you. I have two perfectly healthy shins. He's got a wasp sting on his back. Smack. That'll get his attention real well.
It's true. We have so many things in here you can mess with and play with.
Ball on the table. Two balls on the table next to us. There's a car next to the TV. You could make the box light up.
Is there a message we can give to a loved one? I will say this though, that is the same camera that worked just fine last night.
And that's the second time that you've asked a question, and right after you ask it, it flips out.
What question did I ask?
Is there a message we can pass on to a loved one? Is there a message we can pass on to a loved one? 5 seconds later. And again, one of these is supposed to be a mischievous spirit.
Yeah?
Jacking around with your equipment. Be a pretty good way to mess with you. which is at about 17:45 on the video recording.
So you didn't hear any of that?
I vaguely heard something.
There's no one in the halls right now.
It's after midnight, and we're in the middle of the hallway, not close to the stairways, and the walls in here are thick.
Alright, all audio equipment. I want to check about 20 seconds ago, about 10 to 15 seconds before I came out here. Audio in the room, I want to check right before I tell Travis, do you hear that? Well, the camera was recording when I heard the music and when we heard the voice, so maybe the camera audio caught the voice. Go get it. Gear out. Get a little protein ready. Well, the camera was recording when I heard the music and when we heard the voice, so maybe the camera audio caught the voice. Go get it. Gear out. Get a little protein ready. Hello, and thanks for watching all the way to this point. So some of the things I want to discuss when it comes to the Menger.
was the weird stuff that happened in comparison to what the reality of that weird stuff might be. Um, First and foremost, day two, nothing happened. Um, I went through all the audio and video for day two. Absolutely nothing happened. We went all over the building. I know it wasn't in the main evidence stretch of the episode that we just posted, but I'll show you some clips here.
Can you come join me at the table and play with that little black box there? Alright, so now I'm in the lobby. The time is 11:55. I'm just going to do a quick K2 session in this very busy lobby. Um,
Yeah, so those were kind of just bits and pieces of the overall investigation we did. There were a lot of stories from a lot of places that were experience based, so it wasn't like we were just going to go down to the bar in the hotel and bring all of our gear with us and try to connect Teddy Roosevelt. No, went down to the bar, just being ourselves and seeing if anything weird happened. Um, and the only thing weird that happened was this one dude was really weird, but he was not paranormal. He was just kind of a weird guy. And it might have been me. The strangest part was separating what could have been interpreted as paranormal for what we should kind of ground in reality, right? Um, when you're investigating in the moment, one of the things we like to do is, even though we take a very skeptical look at it when we go through the data, when we go through the evidence, when we're there, we do our best not to let our doubts ruin any potential paranormal experiences. Um, so we go in as a believer would, as someone who is convinced that everything around them is paranormal all the time, which is 99% of the paranormal stuff you see on the internet and on TV. But in our investigation, like kind of post show, like what I'm doing right now, is we break this down and we say, okay, let's talk about the sounds first. The thudding, the thumping, the footsteps, all that. This is an old hotel. That could have been from the hallway. That could have been from the rooms around us. That could have been from the rooms above. No, we were on the top floor. So it would have had to be one of the rooms around us or the hallway. Still a potential. Still a very big possibility. I'm not going to knock that. The tech part, technology can be a real pain in the butt. Like, sometimes you have a bad night with tech. Now, what I will say is, we do have one other example of tech going iffy in another location that we went to last summer. This location and that location are the only two locations where we had any tech issues whatsoever. The entire rest of the time, everything worked fine. So, was it a bad tech day? It could have been. Technology is technology. You know how that can go sometimes. Um, The voices, the music, we were near a window. Um, I don't know if the sound from the street carried like that. I know sound did carry from the street. Um, Not necessarily in the middle of the night when we were doing these investigations in the room, or when we were trying to contact something in the room, but during the day when it was hustling and bustling, you could hear things on the street. It wasn't whisper sounding. It sounded like muffled, loud outside voices. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. It was weird. Um, Everything together, when you look at all this happening together, is it a series of physical coincidences, or was it something paranormal that appeared to be a series of physical coincidences? My rule of thumb still is to this day, if it could be physical, you have to give that the option. That has to be the end all be all. Being said, my time in San Antonio, I would go back any day of the week. It was an amazing place to visit. Food was good. The Menger was an amazing hotel. I'm going to post pictures when I'm done with this of some of the stuff we took around. I might even show a little bit more video just on the tail end to give you all a little bit more of the hotel. Um, the history is what speaks to this location more than anything else. I'm not willing to say it's not haunted. I'm not willing to say it is haunted. Um, there are too many variables. There were too many variables in our investigation. I know there were three other teams there that night. I bumped into two of them, and one of them told me that there was another group who I did not bump into there. So that weekend we were there. There were three other groups there. They probably already posted their video a year ago, um, or they live streamed it. Maybe they got something that we didn't. Um, I don't know, but this is definitely a place that I would love to go back and reinvestigate. Maybe with a little bit more sense to set up more controls as best I can in a public space like that that's bustling. Um, but yeah, it was fun and it was weird. It was very weird. Um, I want to take a few seconds now to kind of go over the specifics of the technology. So, the tech issues we had earlier in the first night during I mentioned in the video, we had two takes before we did the third that we went with. The first take, my K2 meter, which has worked perfectly fine for 2.5 years, started fritzing. It jumped all the way up to red and would not leave the third green notch. It just kept bouncing, like bouncing back and forth, back and forth. And it wouldn't stop. I turn it off, I put it away, I get a new one out. It has one little blip the whole night. I don't think much of that. It's just one blip. I don't even think I posted that in the video. Um, while that was happening, you could actually physically hear the IR on the camera that was pointed into the room go on and off, and the camera kept turning on and off. Now the crazy part is we had it plugged in. The other crazy part is never did it again after the first night. The second night, smooth. No tech issues whatsoever. And I used the same gear. I used all the same gear. So the tech thing is weird, and I know there are stories of paranormal encounters that influence technology, that make your batteries die, that pull the energy from it, and we do ask them to sometimes do that stuff. Um, again, tech is tech. Sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want it to. I can't call technical issues paranormal. I just can't. It would have to be an incredible event. Um, One such event was at the Victor Hotel a few years back. My camera panned by itself. Now, I still chalk it up to maybe it was uneven on the floor and the crank might have been a little loose on the tripod. Maybe it twisted on its own with, like, I do always plug things in, the wire might have been too tight. I don't think it was. But I can't negate that potential, that possibility, especially when I'm not focusing on that control in the moment. So, next thing I want to talk about are the voices. Travis heard something a few times. I heard a lot. I heard mumbling. I heard whispers. I heard at one point music. Could all that come from the hallway? Sure. I will say the time we both heard it when we were sitting on that chair, I left the room to go check the hallways. There was no one else in the hallway. This is a long hallway. We're the only room for quite a while. So if you're passing by and I'm getting up in 10 seconds and I'm at the door within 10 seconds and I'm looking out and there's no one there, there was no one there. There was no one there. That is pretty compelling to me. That's the weirdest thing that happened. Again, can I completely negate that it wasn't someone else? Maybe someone from the floor above us shouting that sounded like a whisper to us, someone from the floor below us, someone in the stairwell. All those are possibilities I can't ignore, that I can't necessarily just determine we have to completely throw out. Those are physical possibilities. I I got to keep them in. I got to keep that part of my internal debate. Um, so all this being said, I know I've rambled for about 10 minutes now. All that being said, um, the Menger, super weird place. Um, I can't designate it haunted. I also think there might be something going on there, so I'm not gonna say it's BS. There's weird stuff happening there. What's causing that weird stuff? Maybe it's physical, maybe it's paranormal. And that's what it is. So thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm gonna post some pictures after this and maybe some clips of us going around the hotel some more so you can get some more of the hotel. Um, Thanks for watching as always. Sleep tight. Are you here? So I can't go in. I guess we can do this.
There are just these two chairs over here, randomly.